Hey guys, happy Sunday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Peralta. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And this podcast is being brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. Okay, winning day yesterday. If you took everything, including the Ohio play that I recommended, you had a 3-1 day. Officially, though, we went 2-2. Still a winning day. But I gave the quarter unit back when I had a Texas Moneyline play live at plus 290. On the next play, there was an interception that Stockton threw that almost lost the game for Georgia, but they win the game. We win a unit from Georgia. We lose a quarter of a unit there, so we 1.25, lost a quarter unit, so up a unit there. Arizona State and Iowa State. If you bet Arizona State, really, you won that game too, so you would have gone 4-1. I didn't bet that. I should have. I just bet over 50.5. That came in for 1 unit, not 1.1 unit. It came in for 1 unit. Then we lost 1.1 units because Penn State's defense is trash. So mark that down for the playoffs. Not so much when they play at home in Happy Valley in the first round, but when they go to the quarterfinals, that defense is not very good. It's overrated. I overrated Penn State's defense, and James Franklin now goes to a whopping 1-17 straight up against top 5 teams in his career. 1-17. Guess who's not winning the bracket? Who's not winning the national championship? That'd be Penn State with that defense and James Franklin. They scored a lot of points, but couldn't stop Oregon to save their lives. So up 0.9 units on the day. So this will turn out to be a very good week, depending on really regardless of what happens here today on a Sunday. If we have a winning day, that's great. If we don't, it doesn't really matter. We'll be profitable regardless of what happens here today. If I lose every bet, go 0-4, and lose the props and everything else, it won't really matter. But got 4 bets for you guys here today. I'll have 4 player props for you coming at you on the live stream at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern on the BettingPros YouTube channel. Andrew Erickson and myself will take you through all the games here today for the NFL. Then, in between the afternoon games and before the Sunday night game between the Chiefs and the Chargers, I will break down the bracket from a betting perspective on the Discord channel. We'll have the 12-team bracket. We'll have some line move. We'll have all the numbers that have come out. The books will take a couple of hours to go ahead and put all the numbers up, and there'll be some initial bets taken on the number for the 4 games in round number 1. And we'll also look at the future wagers as to what the path will be. I cannot believe Indiana is going to be a part of this field. I cannot believe Boise State could be a 3 seed, which is a clown show. At least it looks like Arizona State's going to get a bye, which is right. They'll get a bye here. But, I mean, Boise getting a bye is ridiculous in my opinion. But sure, Alabama being left out, I'm not in favor of it, but I get it. Next year, I think we will have a real conversation about schedule strength. I mean, Penn State gave up 100 to Oregon. Indiana beat nobody, and I mean nobody this year. They didn't play anybody and they didn't beat anybody, yet they're in this field. You've got an Ohio State team that lost as a double-digit home favorite, lost at home, lost on the road to Oregon as well. I mean, there's just a lot of questions about the schedule strength of the Big Ten. Why is the Big Ten getting 4 teams? It's kind of interesting. They're getting 4 teams. The ACC is getting 2, but the SEC is getting 3? Huh. Okay. Sure. That's an interesting, not really something I would do, but we'll see what the committee winds up doing. We'll break it all down coming up with you guys here for the cat. No cat. Hold on. Okay. No cat. We're not doing that again. I know better. Keeping the cat out. That would be bad. We'll leave that in too. But no cat jumping up behind me like last time. No way. Marshmallow staying out of the video today. But we'll do this at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. We'll do it up to kickoff for the Sunday night game, breaking down the bracket from a college football perspective on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to be a part of that. If you're not already in the Discord channel, come on over. I will do it. It's on the Matt Stages live chat we'll do on our Discord. So I'll talk with you guys, take questions, we can argue. And if you are a big Indiana person, come at me and let's argue, because I can't wait to see what you guys are going to say. Because you're getting boat race in your first game. You're going to be on the road, and you're going to get boat race in your first game. But More on that later today. This podcast being brought to you by DraftKings and their Pick 6. Play $5, get $50 instantly in Pick 6 credits when you use the code JUICE at sign up for DraftKings and their Pick 6 app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. 18 plus in most eligible jurisdictions, but other age and eligibility restrictions may apply. Valid only in jurisdictions where DraftKings Pick 6 operates. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including but not limited to New York, California, Ontario. Void where prohibited. For more info and terms, go to pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Okay, let's talk about the games here today. We've got four bets to give you guys. I have 2 straight bets, 1 total, and 1 teaser to give you guys here on the Daily Juice. Let's start here with the, what do I want to start with? Let's start with the Cardinals. The Cardinals are at home laying 2.5 points. The Cardinals have been sneaky this year. They've been sneaky. It's a divisional game. The Cardinals' last 3 home games, they have not allowed a single touchdown to the opposing team. 26 drives, no touchdowns. 6 points by the Jets, 12 points by the Bears, and 8 points by the Chargers. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The Cardinals have stunk against the West, however. Against the NFC West, they are 4-11 ATS. Since the start of the 2022 season, that's the least profitable team against their divisional opponents. Kyler Murray against the West in his career is horrible. 9-15-2. He's 5-13-1 against the Seahawks. However, the Seahawks travel schedule is insane. The Seahawks will be, according to the Action Network, just the 11th team since 2003 to play a road game in New York against the Jets or the Giants, and then have a travel cross-country to play again in either the Mountain or Pacific time zone. Those teams are failing to cover the spread by nearly 6 points per game and already lost it once this year when the Patriots traveled to San Francisco. In Week 12, they were home against the Cardinals. Then in Week 13, they traveled across the country to the Jets. And now in Week 14, they're coming back across the country to play the Cardinals. Teams that go from the Pacific to the East and then back to either the Mountain Time or Pacific Time are 30-58-1 ATS. That's 34% over the last 10 years, failing to cover the spread by an average of 3.6 points per game. That is not good, okay? The Arizona pass rush has been pretty good. Defensively, they've been pretty good. Geno Smith in his career has been pretty good against bad defenses and against good defense, rather, that push. But he's 27-19-1 when facing a defense with a below 4% sack rate, but he's 9-17-3 ATS when he's facing a defense with a 4% or higher sack rate. The Cardinals come in at a 4.3% sack rate on the year. We are laying the 2.5 points with the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona minus 2.5 up against the Seattle Seahawks. Bet number 2. And this game is a little bit like hold your nose. The Raiders are starting Aiden O'Connell, who's been pretty good as a starter, against Baker Mayfield, who's been bad as a favorite. They got Brock Bowers on this team. Baker Mayfield as a starter hasn't been great, okay? But he's been better with this team, with the Bucs. Last week, the Bucs were 6.5-point favorites. They barely got a win in overtime. They did not cover. In his career, Baker Mayfield is 17-28-1 ATS as a favorite. That makes him the 3rd worst quarterback of the 98 to play in the NFL since he was drafted. The Raiders, crazily enough, when they go across the country, road teams who are based in the Pacific time zone, when they play in the East, they're 88-53-4 against the spread, including 11-8-1 ATS this year. It's wild, right? Body clock, okay? When they play, it's a body clock thing. So they go East, everyone thinks they're going to play poorly, and they don't. They play better. It's kind of amazing, but they do. The Bucs and the Panthers played overtime last week and are playing on 8 days rest or less. Teams that are on this have been 111, 140, and 44% to a cover over the last decade, under 500 over the last 3 years, ATS as well. So the Bucs in overtime last week against the Panthers. They come back home now and take on a Raider team coming across the country with Aiden O'Connell, who's been pretty good. The Raiders have been behind in every single game this year, however. In all 12 of their games this year, they've been down by 10 or more points. They're the first team to do that since 1986, just the third team ever to do that, with the 86 Colts and the 72 Patriots. The 86 Colts fell behind double digits in 16 straight games. But they fall behind and they come back. I mean, they in the second half, they make a game of it, which is amazingly enough. And Aiden O'Connell's been a decent quarterback against the number, more than decent quarterback against the number. I'm going to take the 7 points here. Give me the Raiders, +7 on the road against Baker Mayfield. I think Baker wins, but Baker against the number is not good. I think this Raiders defense can hang around. I like the Raiders to keep it close. Raiders +7 for 1.1 units. Okay, to the one total. We've talked a ton about this. Sunday night football unders have just been very, very profitable. And this is the Chargers at the Chiefs on Sunday night. Patrick Mahomes has stunk against the number. He does own the AFC West, however, incredibly enough. He's 0-3-1 ATS against the AFC West this year. He's 4-10-1 ATS over the last 4 years against his own division. The 4-10-1 ATS mark is the worst for any quarterback in the NFL over that span against his own division. It's remarkable. It doesn't make any sense. However, Mahomes is 9-2 straight up against the Chargers in his career, but just 4-5-2 ATS overall. 2-4-1 ATS against Justin Herbert. Mahomes' 6 wins versus Herbert is the second most versus any quarterback. It's the most versus Derek Carr, where he was 9-1 straight up against Derek Carr. When Mahomes faces teams allowing 17 points or fewer in his career, he's 13-2 straight up. That's unbelievable. However, the Chargers, as an underdog of more than 3 points, Justin Herbert is 10-2-1 ATS in his career, including a 6-1-1 ATS mark against the AFC West. I love a same-game teaser here in this game, guys. I love a same-game teaser. I love taking the Chargers up to 10 and then taking the total from 43 up to 49 and going under. I will 100% do that. But since I already have one teaser going, I don't like doing more than one teaser officially here. So I'm going to play the under. And the reason is Justin Herbert has been an under machine, like just an under machine in his career. And I don't entirely know why, but the Chargers are 8-4 to the under in full game totals this season. They're 20-9 to the under since the start of last year. Justin Herbert is now 18-7 to the under since the start of last season, including an 18-5 record to the under in his last 23 starts. And Sunday Night Football has been a dead under game this season. Historically dead under. Under 43 for 1.1 units for the Chiefs and the Chargers. And finally, we go to the teaser. The teaser is going to be an interesting play for us because I'm looking at the Bears and the Giants. If you're watching this, you can see this. Bears +9, Giants +9.5. The Bears at +4. Here comes the dead cat bounce for the Bears. Okay, I think the Bears cover the 4 by themselves, but I'll tease it up. But the dead cat bounce has been a real thing. Teams, there have been 40 teams to fire their coach during the regular season since 2003. Those teams have gone 18-22 straight up and 23-17 against the spread in the first game following their firing, which is amazingly enough. So you fire a team mid-season, you get a bounce. The Browns in 2018 fired Hugh Jackson, amazingly enough, and they went 5-3. It isn't often a team fires a head coach midseason after going above 500 ATS in the year. Matt Eberflus became just the 5th head coach since 2003 to do that. And the only one 3+ games above 500 ATS. Hugh Jackson was 5-3 ATS in 2018. He got fired. Eberflus was 7-4-1 ATS on the year, and he got fired. Dead cat bounce. Bears +9. We'll take that from 4. Or from 3, rather. It's 3 now. That number is, let's see, where's the Bears? It was 3 this morning. Is it going below 3 for the Bears? I can't imagine it would, but no, it's 3. So take from Bears to 3 up to 9 against the 49ers. And then we'll go to the Giants. And look, anytime you bet the Giants, it's scary, but they're at home against the Saints. And look, Derek Carr stinks. He just stinks, and he stinks against bad defenses too, which is amazing enough. The Giants aren't any good. They're on a 7-game ATS losing streak. This is the longest Giants streak against the number as a franchise in the Super Bowl era. If the Giants don't cover on Sunday, they would also own a 5-game ATS at home losing streak. Again, the longest as a franchise since 2003 when they lost 7 straight games at home against the number. Giants have just absolutely stunk, okay? Brian Daboll is 6-4 in extended prep as the Giants head coach. They played on Thanksgiving. Now they're playing on Sunday. He is over 500 ATS with both Tommy DeVito and Daniel Jones playing an extended rest. But here we are with Drew Lock playing quarterback today for the Giants. Cold weather at MetLife, which is not good for Derek Carr when he's a favorite in conditions below 50 degrees. He's 1-4 ATS, failing to cover by 7.4 points per game. And Derek Carr as a favorite, he's 22-39-2 ATS as a favorite. That's the worst mark of any quarterback since 2003. As a road favorite, Derek Carr is 1-14-1 ATS in 16 spots. The one lone cover he had on the road as a favorite was against the Colts indoors. Tease it up. Giants probably cover it by themselves, but I'm going to tease it up to 9.5. 1.2 units down. Bears +9. Giants +9.5. Okay, so the official card for today on Sunday for the Daily Juice. Cardinals laying 2.5 at home against the Seahawks. Raiders catching 7 on the road against the Bucs. That should say Chiefs, not Raiders. Sorry, Chiefs and the Chargers under 43 on Sunday night, but I love a same game teaser in that game to tease it up to 9 and put the 43 up to 49 and go under. And then the teaser official is Bears +9, Giants +9.5. I will talk to you on the live stream at noon Eastern with Andrew Erickson for my player props that I'll give you guys here, plus break down every game and line movement. And Andrew and I were talking about every game on the card for Sunday. I'll give you picks and plays and thoughts there. And then after the game, the late games and before the Sunday night game, on the Discord channel, I'll break down the bracket from a betting perspective for the College Football National Championship, the first ever 12-team bracket. We will do that coming up at about 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to join. My name is Matt Peralt. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt. Every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast, presented by DraftKings.